shot. Anderson checked, didn't get it out of the zone. Tipped deep by the Hawks. Hankinson chases with Laniel. They come together. Both of them go down. Puck is in skates, and it's tied up. And we'll get the face-off in the Devils' zone. And all of a sudden, a fight breaks out. Huscroft, far side, tackling a player and hammering away with his left hand. And now the linesmen, who were slow getting in because they were entangled with a couple of other players, get in. And I'll have to wait and see who the Hawks player is. It's Ian Duncan. And Huscroft ushered off to the penalty bench as he was all over Duncan. And one of the linesmen is signaling something to the referee. That, by the way, was Jacques Mayotte, not Ian Duncan. Mayotte known for nothing more than fighting. In fact, that may be his first shift of the night.
I believe it was his first shift of the night, Jimmy. He's only played 4 games for the Hawks. Just acquired last year. He played with 3 teams, accumulated, I believe, 90-some penalty minutes. The year before that, he was up in the upper 200 range. So he is known as a fighter. Jamie Huscroft here.
There, Lacroix, who scored his first goal against Fredericton, trying to get it out. Medill held it in, tipped out to center by Bennett, who was turned around by Huscroft. Lacroix after the puck at the double line, put it back to center for Bloomberg, who relayed it in. Now Huscroft and Lacroix in a fight against the near boards to the left of the Ranger penalty box. They've got each other tied up. Huscroft trying to get Lacroix's jersey over his head, and Lacroix getting it back in place. They haven't thrown a punch. Now a left by Lacroix, another left. Huscroft fighting back with a right, another right by Huscroft, and now they back against the boards on the blue line, and they go down, Lacroix and Huscroft, and the linesmen in to try to separate them. Well, you can tell that they're used to fighting because they had each other pretty well tied up. Oh, and now Huscroft grabbing Vial and pushing him against the penalty box, and Vial didn't retaliate. So we'll see what Dvorsky does about this. We've played 1:44 of the second period. The score is 1-all. That is our fourth to Heward, and it's picked up by the Rangers. Bloomberg cleared down the ice. Now Heward grabs Vial and is swinging at him. Vial now turns around, and Vial wants to get at Heward. Simon is in the way. Vial sidesteps him and goes right back after Heward, and Vial is really hot. He was suckered by Heward, and one of the linesmen, Whistler, has got Heward, and Vial being restrained by Zerby, but Heward hit Vial a couple of times before Dennis had a chance to react, and Vial went charging after him out near the blue line. Now Heward being escorted toward the dressing room. There'll be penalties at 8:08, and Heward now giving it to the linesman Randy Whistler. Wolf on NHL in 1987. In 89-90, he worked 23 NHL games, and he's part owner of Goals Gym and Golf. Now we've got a fight out near the blue line. Daniel Lacroix against Harry Anderson. Lacroix and Anderson, and Lacroix getting some lefts in there as they're on their knees against the boards to the left of the double back. And those two at 1:44 of period number 2 squared off, but neither one could get any punches in. This time they were a little more liberal as they each got a little bit in. Now Perry Anderson checking his right hand as he skates to the penalty box. Daniel Lacroix, Perry Anderson, and now Lacroix looking over at Anderson as he heads for the penalty box. So we will have penalties at the 8:30 mark. Now it's center right. Poshek and Simon. Toe-to-toe. Shadow boxing now. Poshek to right. Another right by Poshek. Another right. Another right by Poshek. Down he goes. Poshek, a series of right. And now Heward or Simon trying to fight back, and Poshek gets up, and Ty won that one. Poshek with a bunch of right. Knocking Simon down. The Rangers may not win the hockey game, but they is Lacroix. And then Rudy Poshak giving it to Jason Simon, who will have penalties at the 8:30 mark. Now it's center right. Poshak and Simon. Toe-to-toe. Shadow boxing out. Poshak to right, another right by Poshak, another right by Poshak. Down he goes. Poshak, a series of right. And now Heward, or Simon, trying to fight back, and Poshak gets up and said, I won that one. Poshak with a bunch of right. Knocking Simon down. The Rangers may not win the hockey game.
Wide in center. Bounces to the Saints blue line. Godinuk stabs it back to center. Brady's on it there. Deaking, circling, and now chipping it as he's dumped hard, and down he goes. Huscroft goes after Godinuk. The player, Godinuk, takes a shot at Huscroft with a glove out, and Huscroft comes up swinging over the top of a linesman. He's hammered him a couple of times. Huscroft continuing to swing with a linesman in between them. Godinuk's jersey's up over his head. He's swinging as well. Huscroft is snapped there, and now the linesmen get a hold of them. Brady, meanwhile, being tended to by Bob Bills. He went down with his helmet flying off him on the check by evidently Godinuk. Did you see the check? I saw it out of the corner of my eye, but really did not see who it was. It obviously was Godinuk.
It was Godinuk. He came through and lifted Neil Brady right up off the ice. Neil Brady hit his head hard on the ice. His helmet came off. Just hope he's all right.
He is on. Saints will clear it all the way down as Bill Root again will just take the icing. Laniel will touch up. Early in the first period, the Saints took a couple of icings trying to slow the Devils down. I think they're doing now the right hand freeze hitting the back of Stevens' helmet. Now Huscroft almost falling. Now he got a left in and a right over the top. Stevens trying to get the right hand free to start hammering at Huscroft. Huscroft over the top now as Jamie's helmet has come off. Huscroft hammering over the top on Stevens. Stevens is in a little trouble. Huscroft takes him down to the ice, and the linesman will come in. And describing Jamie Huscroft in a fight, very hard to do, but I'd say a bull. He's like a bull, and he's always swinging, and he's always moving, and he's tough to get a hold of, and Stevens found out right there.
If you can see Jamie Huscroft in his street clothes, his shoulders are about as wide as shoulders can go. He's big, he's very strong in the upper body, has good balance on his skates, and he's just a tough person to fight with.
So Stevens and Huscroft go off to the box. It appeared as though they both agreed to go right at the same time. Todd holds, shuttles it back to the near point. Brady sends to the far point. Posma steers it near circle and hopped over Todd's stick. Todd gets it back along the near boards. Then he's checked, took an elbow to the face. Todd comes up swinging, and he's going. It's Alan Heppel, I believe. They're all tied up along the near boards. Todd's trying to swing with the right hand, and the linesman trying to get in on it now. Todd got elbowed in the face. They're having a tough time getting these two apart, and now it's Heppel taking swings over the top. Indeed, that is Heppel. I believe it was Heppel, but I have to tell now as the jersey is up over the head somewhat. They are now separated by the linesman. Medill gets a couple of comments into Alan Heppel, his former teammate. Todd and Heppel were not.
That looked like Gale Sears with Starikov. The puck is slid deep in the Springfield zone. Stevens and O'Connor in a set two here. John Stevens and Miles O'Connor. A good look there. Stevens lands a big right. And Johnny Stevens and the youngster Miles O'Connor. O'Connor in his second season out of the University of Michigan. Stevens another right uppercut this time as John Stevens and Miles O'Connor drop the gloves. 11:34 left in the second period. We'll have penalties given out here. With the score, the Indians won and the Devils won. You're watching Springfield Indians hockey on Continental Sports.
It was 4-0 at the beginning of this third period. We've got 12:10 to play yet. Oh my, off the face-off. Goyen holding up in his own zone with a pass near side. We got a fight. Bill Heward, Trevor Steinberg shake the gloves and sticks off, and here they go. They straighten up. Heward tries a left, then over the top. Steinberg got loose with a right. Heward gets back up. The linesmen have to jump in as Heward was in a very vulnerable situation. So that one never really got going. Steinberg did get a couple in perhaps when Heward fell down. On don't think we could even give a decision to Steinberg, though. It really never was a real fight.
No, I don't think even Steinberg, even when he was down, landed a clear punch. Hewitt just lost his balance. He got swung around and down. He wasn't happy. They wanted to get at each other, and the linesman jumped right in and did his job once they went down on the ice.
Well, I'll call it a delayed reaction. Billy promised penalties. The cage instead. Now Vilgren on the near boards, gets it back to the point line. Yell shot in front, deflected high and wide by Todd. Carry him to the far side. Huscroft will jam it. Goes in on Bergeron, and he's just going to sit on top of the puck and take the face off. And now Simon and Huscroft will go. Huscroft pounding away with the left hand. Simon never got his gloves off. Now he tries to throw an uppercut as the linesman had grabbed a hold of him. And chances are Huscroft's going to get the extra two here. We'll see when we come back. Both players go off to the penalty benches. 3:09 remaining period number 1. We're tied at 1.
This is an anti-rap commercial.
The Devils will be able to establish a physical game here.
Face off to the right of Bergeron. The puck is down on the near boards. They scramble. Brady has it. Gets it to the slot. We've got a fight. Anderson is fighting with Roy Mitchell. Anderson got a left in. Now tries to fire to the right. He gets his helmet off. Trying to throw him down. They both almost go down. Anderson's throwing rights now. As they go down, Mitchell's on top. But Anderson did all of the punching in that particular breakage.
Well, Barry Anderson, one tough customer, and he can handle himself. Roy Mitchell, as we mentioned in the broadcast earlier, 90 penalty minutes, one of the tougher players on the Canadians, but not a real true fighter. Barry Anderson handled him there. And that may, we just talked about the physical play of the Devils, and that may be the thing that ignites a fire into the Devils, that physical play, Perry Anderson getting into it.
The far side, Cote will tip the puck. Now the Canadians have it. Now Hohenberger moving it up to center ice, 2-on-2. Hohenberger to the red line and fight behind the play. Vilgrain going with LaBelle. This is a tough kid. Claude really has chosen a tough one. Claude got a right hand over the top, but now LaBelle hammering away with the right, and Claude in the defensive here. He does take him down, but LaBelle really got free with the right and started hammering away.
Well, as you said, Mark LaBelle, he's a very tough player, and Claude Vilgrain, who can handle himself in his own right, just wasn't able to hold up LaBelle's right hand, and was able to pound away LaBelle with the right hand.
Those two will be escorted off. 9:35 remaining period number 3. The Devils trail 5-1.
This is Wilford Brimley for Quaker Oats. Almost everybody wants to do the right thing, but our ideas on what the right thing is keep changing. We go overboard for foods.
The penalty to Heward. He picks it up right circle in the slot to McReynolds to shoot off the pass. It hit traffic. Vial facing the blue line. Tried to get it back to the point. Heward comes out of the box. The puck coming back into the Ranger zone. Now we've got a fight. Huscroft and Vial squaring off inside the blue line. Huscroft telling him to come on. Now a right by Huscroft, a right by Vial, another right. A right by Huscroft, a right by Vial. Now they're trading rights. Huscroft a right, Vial a right. And they're toe-to-toe in the right department. Another right by Vial, another right by Huscroft. Vial and Huscroft. Now Huscroft backs him into the corner boards. The gate comes open. And Huscroft is down on top of Vial. But they were toe-to-toe. Vial getting in a couple of punches right at the end there. And then Huscroft backed him against the door in the corner. And the door came open. And Dennis went down hard with Huscroft on top of him. And Huscroft is in the penalty box. Vial giving him a long look as he skates to the penalty box. We've played 2 minutes, 42 seconds of the first period. No score. You're listening to Ranger Hockey on WBNK. Corner to the right, Bergeron and Huscroft taking one another up. Brady's turning a tuck right at Laviolette, right circle, fired a shot, that hit Brady, and deflected into the right corner. Now Copeland throwing it around behind, but not out, held in by Polshek, a chance in front for Domi, but he redirected one wide. Huscroft throwing it over Patterson down the ice, and now Polshek in a fight with Heward. Polshek and Heward inside the double blue line. Rudy getting some quick shots in, and Heward went down, but I'm not sure if it was because Rudy connected or if Heward just stumbled. Those two have tangled on more than one occasion. They fought twice in game 2. And Polshek getting the better of the fights in the... They both go to the penalty box here at the 8:02 mark of the second period. The Rangers have outshot the...
Forces first crossed into Kuwait. It was clear that this aggression required a swift response from our nation and the world community. What was and is at stake is not simply our energy or economic security. and the stability of a vital region, but the prospects for peace in the post-Cold War era, the promise of a new world order based upon the rule of law. America was not alone in confronting Saddam. No less than 12 resolutions of the United Nations Security Council condemned the invasion, demanding Iraq's withdrawal without condition and without delay. The United Nations put in place sanctions.
To Marsh Mission in center right. Dave Marsh Mission over the wing, blind, feeds it across the slot, but Milgram can't get to it. Now there's some pushing and shoving in center ice, as originally McDougal came together, I believe, with Morris, and now Shank into it with Morris. They've dropped the gloves. Shank with an overhand right, another right. They're mostly tussled. Morris, a college product, probably hasn't had too many fights, and Engelhardt moving in as well, along with Anderson. They push and shove. And the linesman trying to pull Shank and Morris apart. 51 seconds into the second period. The Wings power play expired, and there go Engelhardt and Anderson. And Engelhardt brought in a good straight right there at the beginning, and Anderson went right down. And Engelhardt tossing Anderson around right now. Anderson is covered up, and now he wants to go back after Engelhardt, and he does. And throws a good right hand. Engelhardt trying to tie him up. Now throws his left. Anderson trying to get a right away, and Engelhardt loses his balance, and those two go down hard. Engelhardt took the advantage initially. Anderson went down and covered up, and then jumped back up off the deck and started tossing Engelhardt around. And there was an altercation already going there, Don, so I would assume that Anderson and Engelhardt could be banished for the evening.
I'm sure they will be. That's certainly the call, and there goes Koski, jams at the center, dumped right back in by Huscroft, but cleared by Malgunas. The coast around right wing, but there's a fight going in center. It's McClellan and Huscroft. They measure one another. McClellan looking to lead with the right. They still dance. Each player looking to get an opening. A couple of tough customers here. Just looking for the opening. Now Hutchcroft tries a right. They still stare. And nobody's thrown a punch yet. Finally they tie up. McClellan looking to throw the left, and he does. A good right hand by Hutchcroft. Now McClellan throws a couple of rights. He knocks Hutchcroft down. There's the left hand. Now Hutchcroft gets back up, as does McClellan. And they tussle. Each looking to get a hand loose, and McClellan with an uppercut. Now Hutchcroft looking to flip McClellan, but McClellan reverses the move on him, and they both go to the ice, and a pretty good goal there between two of the tougher guys you're going to find in pro hockey. One of the longer setup times to get a bout going. Number of times Steve Martinson was involved in what he thought was going to be an altercation, but after dancing around for about 45 seconds, the linesman finally jumped in and gained.
cage. Fanned on a pass, then is checked by Laviolette. They muck for the puck. Brady comes away with it behind the cage. He's wrapped up by Zander, who's doing some nice back checking, and Peter Fiorentino picks up the puck. Bumped by Heward, and a nice check in the far corner. Fiorentino comes back. Here they go. Far corner. Fiorentino and Heward will go. And this one was going to happen as sure as the sun was going to come up today, and here they go. Left by Heward. He gets the left hand free. Oh, an uppercut by Heward. May have gotten him there. Now Fiorentino has the right free, but Heward then just pushes him backwards and topples him, and Heward lands on top, and then the linesman will get in and break that one up. Not a very big surprise that those two are going at it. Heward and Fiorentino both in the top 10 in the American Hockey League in penalty minutes. Fiorentino is 4th. Heward is 5th.
Well, you knew they were going to go, and Bill Heward, there's a good example of his strength. Fiorentino's a big kid. Heward just drove him back, picked him up, and threw him down. I've worked out with Bill Heward the last 3 days at All-American Fitness Center, and he is one strong kid. He put 350 pounds on the bench press and just pumped it up like it was lightweight, so he's got some strength.
I'm sure you tested and played for Tommy McVie. In fact, there's a definite McVie influence on this Rangers team. Dave Marcinich into the red line, dumps in far corner, the Karam to Bednarchik, who speeds in, centers it in front. It's tipped around, rolls to Heward, who sends behind the cage for Brady. Brady holding. Brady check. Backhander as he got to where the slot is stopped, and then Heward and Vial whack away. Heward and Vial will go as they throw the gloves down. They circle each other. This will be fight number 2. Vial grabs a hold, tries the right over the top. Heward got him with a left. Vial then started hammering with a right. Heward now with a right. Now they tie each other up again. Vial with rights that are missing over the top. Heward tried to get in with a right. His is being stopped. They continue to wrestle. Heward's lost his helmet now. They continue to wrestle and spin each other around. And Heward with an in-tight right. Another in-tight right. The head of Vial shook on that one. Vial over the top of the roundhouse left and missed. Heward with another punch in close that got, I believe, some flesh, and now they continue to hold. They look to be ready to break up for the linesmen. No, still watch, and still watch. And they still watch. Vial with a left. Heward with a left over the top as the linesmen jump in. And Bill Heward gets my decision in that one. Those two will both be ushered off to the locker rooms. Only 4:51 remaining. Be interesting to see if Jackson goes with an instigation here. Vial clearly threw his gloves down before Heward did, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Heward had to fight. They were not in contact when he threw his gloves down. So Heward gets a nice ovation. 4:51 remaining, period number 1. The Devils and Rangers. He tried to clear it into the zone, but it went off a stick high up over the glass. Now to play. Now LaRose rides Heward. Heward's got to watch it. Huscroft's right there to take care of business. Bill's got 2 fighting majors. Huscroft now will go, and it's Fiorentino. Huscroft and Fiorentino will go here. Huscroft trying to get the right hand free. Fiorentino trying to get his right hand free, sort of hanging on now. Fiorentino gets the right hand free, and Huscroft does too. Fiorentino has the advantage right now in terms of how he's holding him. Huscroft sends him down. He kicked him down. He could get a gross misconduct. Huscroft tripped him with his leg. I don't know if it was as blatant as the one he had in Adirondack, which has put Cleland out of action. But he did take his leg and knee him, or trip him, to send him down. And Devils just can't lose Huscroft for the game. He's a one player right now they cannot lose. He goes off to the Devils locker room, gesturing to the fans as he does. Fiorentino will go off. We'll wait for Dave Jackson to assess this. He'll talk with his linesman. Chahaki is already complaining, saying Huscroft out. Fight behind the play. Anderson and Vial. They're circling each other. And now here they go. Anderson with a right over the top. Vial with a right is hammering away, and Anderson went down. Vial was hammering away, and Anderson went down. And I guess you'd have to give that one to Vial, although it appeared as though Anderson slipped. He just went down so suddenly. He didn't go down from the force of a punch.
No, he didn't. And Anderson, at the beginning of the fight, got a few quick ones in on Vial. Vial got the right arm loose and just threw some heavy ones. He raised his hand, going off Rudy Poshek the second there.
Yeah, Vial raising his hands as if that was a knockout. I'm absolutely positive we will see more of Dennis Vial in the scrap and probably more of Perry Anderson. They are both escorted off. Just 41 seconds in. It did not take long. And, of course, Huscroft on it for Utica there. Just dumping it back in center. That's a giveaway played by Cord Sturnich. Tips it near side. Patterson rung in hard. On a check by Huscroft, and here they go. Huscroft and Patterson along the near boards. They're all tangled up at this point. Both have their helmets still on. Some punching in tight going on. Can't really see if anyone was landing. Now Huscroft's helmet has come off. Jamie goes with that trip move of his and takes Patterson down. I don't know. I guess if you can get away with it, go ahead and do that trip move. And now they pull each other away. Huscroft to go off toward the bench. Fiorentino has a couple of words talking about the trip move of Huscroft. And we have more penalties. 14:43 remaining, period number 1. The Devils lead at 1-0. This is the Devils Radio Network.
Jamaica.
Oh, there. Penalties, of course. This penalty occurring with just 2 seconds remaining in the period. Face-off to the right of Sammy Saint-Laurent. Off the draw, they muck for it, and the puck comes loose, and that's it. Fiorentino and Marcinishin come together. Here they go. Marcinishin with a hammering right over the top. Marcinishin pounding away with the right hand. Oh, Marcinishin then taking a punch, and down they go on the near boards. Now they aren't down. They're still on the board. Fiorentino hammering away with the right now. Fiorentino trying to get over the top with the uppercut. Now they're tied up. And now they're tied up. Linesman not getting in yet. Fiorentino's got that right almost free. Now they wrestle again a little bit. Fiorentino over the top with the right. Oh, he caught Marcinishin with the right in tight. As Dave basically at this point seems to be hanging on as Fiorentino had that right hand cocked and ready to go. Now they Wade and the linesman will jump in between the two. And Fiorentino lifts his hands up. I don't think when you get pummeled in the face, it didn't appear to be as much agony as he was in at the end of the period. So those two players appear as